Hellos and welcomes back everyone, AnthWolf here with more Pillars of Eternity. And it's suddenly just turned to the night cycle. It's hour 20. So, let us head north. And say we'll use the other bridge to escape Defiance Bay. See if there's anyone we can talk to, any more souls we can peer into, and then we'll try and find a spot of trouble to gain a little more experience. Really? Taking us 2 days? Wow. That is quite a journey. It only took us 15 minutes to use the other bridge, unless it is broken, and we've had to take the long way round, but that doesn't make sense.
I think it may be time to strike up camp.
Yeah, actually we've come from the north, so it looks like we came all the way around. Maybe this bridge is broken. Oh, we should have probably talked to a Justicar then before we left. Quite a few people are fatigued right now. Understandably so. Okay, we'll follow the road down to the bridge and see what the circumstances are. Oh. Some off-shooting roads. Hello there. Damn looters can't be bothered to find an honest wage. Curse my luck. The woman mutters, kicking her foot to the ground, upturning a clod of soil. As you approach, her ears twitch and she turns to greet you. Hail, traveller. The bridge to Defiance Bay is out. If that's where you're headed, you'll need to find another route. What destroyed the bridge? The river has been rising on account of all the storms here. Here where the river narrows, the flooding did the most damage. The Olan woman folds her arms, a scowl overtaking her face. Guess they don't make things that last around here, do they? Why the stone columns collapse in a flash flood, taking the whole middle section of the bridge out to sea? Madhmr Bridge has the most direct route to Gilded, Vale to Defiance Bay. Merchants and travellers now have to find boat passage or add days of extra travel to loop around the bay. Yeah, I noticed. So I started a ferry service thinking I'd earn some coin and help others cross over to the bay. That was a bigger mistake than that time I allowed the cipher to court me. Mistake? How so? I had been attempting to turn a quick copper, but just my luck, the blasted currents threw my ferry into the rocks, dashed it and my profits to pieces. Making matters worse, when I went to prowl ashore to salvage whatever shipping crates didn't sink, a pair of looters have attacked me. The damn brigands had the nerve to attack. I managed to avoid harm, but now they've stolen by force all that was left of my fortune. You know, you look like you'd fare better against those looters than little old me. Could I enlist your help? I'll take a look. Thank you, I'm sure those folks made a mess of my stock, but maybe there's something there to be saved. Investigate the area immediately downstream of Madhmr Bridge to look for signs of a wrecked ferry. Oh, hello. Ah. No! We almost got into trouble.
Looks like we'll be taking the long way to Defiance Bay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a few people who we can peer into the soul of. Lars Nilsson. Wow. You see two figures, a human and an Amora, standing in front of this man. The human just stands there fuming while the Amora is yelling red-faced with fury. He is leaning forward, a stream of profane imagery flying from his mouth, his face rapidly turning purple. The man stands straight in the face of the onslaught, unmoving, a bemused smile on his face. He holds a rapier nonchalantly by his portly flank, point down, but his hand is gripped tightly on the handle, his knuckles white. The Ormona stops yelling, pausing only long enough to take a breath, intent on immediately starting again. The man holds up his left hand and begins to speak during the brief silence, trying to defuse the situation and cut off the continued abuse. The Ormona makes a grunting noise and pokes the man on the breastbone to stop him from speaking, leaving the finger against his chest for emphasis. The man with the rapier tilts his head down, looking at the finger resting against his chest, and looks back at the Ormona without moving his head. The Ormona realizes too late that he's just crossed the line. The man grabs the hand, squeezing and twisting it. There is a loud cracking noise and the Ormona cries out. The man raises his rapier and punches the Ormona using the handle as added heft. There is a second crack and the Ormona collapses to the ground unconscious, blood pouring from his nose. The second stranger looks up at his friend's limp body to see the tip of the rapier already pointed at him, a flat, unfriendly and serious look on the face at the other end of it. He raises his hand in defeat and backs away, turning to run when he is far enough away to ensure that he won't be caught. The man turns to leave, the smile slowly returning to his face. And we have Vanessa here. You see a crowd doubled over, sharing bouts of laughter as a mischievous-eyed woman relates a tale of her last adventure involving an unusually self-conscious troll. She has them exactly where she wants them as she throws out the punchline, sending anyone who isn't already smiling into tears of laughter. She courtesies at the crowd with a flourish and a wicked grin and makes her way to the bar, quickly followed by a legion of eager suitors, each trying to buy her affection with a drink. She turns each of them away, but none leave her without a smile. She enjoys her drink content and starts to scribble down the beginnings of her next performance, laughing at her own jokes. And see the Exa. You see the interior of a small dark shop. The shelves are covered with a variety of goods, some commonplace and others of a little more exotic variety. This man wanders the shelves of the shop, smiling and fondly touching the items. He maneuvers through the aisles, the only person there. He stops in front of a large display showing the model of a large worm, a plaque in front of it detailing the information about its natural habitat, food preferences and mating rituals. He moves on, wandering from display to display, stopping at each one to take it in. He looks out of the window at the front of the shop and sees the sun has broken the building line, sorry. People are wandering the market, stopping into shops and loitering at the stores, looking for a bargain. Standing before the front door, the man turns back to the shop and smiles again, then unlocks the door and pushes it open, letting in the sounds of the market. Oh, actually there was someone here. I didn't actually see you. Artis. You see a battlefield covered with bodies. There is death everywhere, and the sound of metal upon metal ringing over the gore-stained ground. The cries of the wounded fill the air, occasionally masked by the death knell of another casualty. This man is running, but from what you cannot see. His breath comes in laboured gasps, his eyes are wide and terror-filled. As he runs, he wrestles with a blood-splattered tunic. He tears at the fabric as though it burns his skin, his desperation electing small mewling sounds from the back of his throat. His foot catches on an arm sticking out from a pile of bodies he is trying to maneuver around, and he spills forward, landing on a fallen soldier, looking into his dead eyes. The mewling increases in intensity as he scrabbles backward, trying to push himself off the body. His hand slips on blood-slicked armour and he topples to the side, landing on his back. He starts shaking his head, cheeks wet with terrified tears. He pushes himself to his knees and surveys the field, eyes wide, breathing so quickly he's almost hyperventilating. Stumbling back into motion, his hands return to the tunic, eyes swinging wildly about, surveying the carnage around him. His frantic fingers finally tear the tunic from his chest, and he throws it to the ground, the sounds of battle still echoing in his ears as he flees. The man is running, but from what you cannot see. His breath comes in laboured gasps, his eyes are wide and terror-filled. Oh wait, it went back. It repeats itself. Interesting. It's the first time I've seen an error like that. But oh well. It's bound to happen at some point. So we are fatigued, but we'll push through it.
I shall be discreet.
And here may be the looters. Yeah, I'm not so worried about a couple of looters.
Strike up camp.
I know, you're all tired. It's a terrible burden. I'm not... Hello.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey, of course.
Right.
Gathered around the soggy timbers of a ship wreckage, men and women pick through the driftwood, snatching muddy silverware, muddy clothes, chipped pottery, and anything else they can spot among the detritus. All eyes turn to you as you approach. The group trade nervous stares at you until at last a woman in muddy clothes steps forward and speaks. Rara Brettel and Terrain. They were just up there along the path and we heard fighting. Her hand moves towards a knife on her belt as she anticipates your reply. The wreckage is private property and you are looting. Looting? But this is a wreck. What value does it have? The men and women all turn to her, their faces frightened and worried. Please, we need these supplies dearly, and the storm took everything from us. It's not our desire to steal, but we are desperate. Or destitute. Should we let these wares just sink to the river bottom? Regardless of your need, you're still stealing from Peregrine. Perhaps you could tell the merchant you found nothing beyond the bits of driftwood. From her point of view, it'll be as if the river washed it all away. Besides, how much coffer will she really make by selling these rotten clothes and soiled wares? I will not lie to cover your thievery. Then you leave us no choice. No, actually that's my line.
I'm here.
Following your lead.
Actually, we're going to rest shortly, so... Oh, it's a casting spell. That was silly. I don't know why the beetles weren't being summoned. I actually had to choose someone to cast it on. We have the Hermit's Hat. Might +1. More lockpicks once again. Everything else I can hold on to. And this is the ferry cargo.
Right.
Oh, of course, wait. Quickly go to the stronghold. Let us construct something else. Quite a few things we can build. Woodland trails. Surround your domain, upgrading them will grant both a constitution and athletics bonus. Maybe. Tempting. Let's upgrade the Western Barbican now. Get some more defences going. Peregrine bounces on her feet as you approach. My helpful stranger returns. Have you managed to find anything yet? Even if all you found is driftwood, just knowing those looters got what they deserved would moisten my britches. Would these happen to be your wares? Her ears twitched with excitement as you dropped the supplies down in front of her. Thank you, I was beginning to think it all sunk into the bottom of the river. Consider this a small token of my gratitude. I will reward you properly when you visit me at the shop in Defiance Bay. So, we didn't do a good deed there. In fact, that was a negative. But we have been promised a discount. Let's have a look at our character sheet, actually. We are neutral with Defiance Bay, because we did do a slight good earlier. And now we did a slight negative. But everyone's leveled up. So with that in mind, actually, let us get the hell out of here. We'll return to Cadnuria and rest up. I wonder if we can speak to the steward and if she'll tell us anything new. Plus we get to look at the main keep and see how it's improved with the upgrade.
Ready to sleep like the dead.
Be interesting to see this place once everything starts to get upgraded again, see if there's actually people who start living here. I would like that. Just to see it become, like, looked more lived in once again. I'm hearing some whispers. Brings back bad memories of the very beginning of the game.
It is good to see you here. I can feel a change in the air already. There is much to do. Is there anything I can do to help?
What is the state of the keep? Where to begin? Let's see here. Okay, there's no events pending. We can't hire anyone because we need to build the barracks. Very well, very good. Oh well, let's spend a moment then leveling everyone up while we're here.
Yeah.
So, if you care or if not, feel free to skip ahead. I'm going to spend probably a good 5 minutes looking at this, if not a bit longer, depending on how long it takes to organise all 6 party members. So, Balmung first of all. We'll put your we'll put your athletics up again. We'll just leave that point free. And we can choose a new paladin ability. I think we've already had it. Oh, Lay on Hands is able to heal with the touch of his or her hands. It's a passive ability, inspiring all allies in the vicinity when the paladin downs an enemy, providing a temporary bonus to all defences. How often does Balmung get the final hit though? That's the problem. Zealous Focus and Zealous Charge can't be used with the endurance bonus. Liberating Exhortation commands an ally to summon all their strength in order to temporarily ignore existing hostile effects. Hostile effects suspended for 20 seconds. And 3 times per rest, Sworn Enemy marks an enemy as the focus of the Paladin's Righteous Fury, granting accuracy and damage bonuses against the target until combat ends, or the target goes down. The foe is marked, gaining extra damage plus 15 accuracy. Yeah, we'll take that. Accuracy is one of Balmung's major issues, actually. Ada, it's now your turn. What should I give you, actually? Well, we'll give you some more athletics again. We don't really need you to do anything else. And we can choose a new fighter ability. Once per encounter, the fighter becomes fiercely determined to deflect all incoming blows, dramatically increasing all defenses. Plus 20 to all. That would be really good, actually. Only 15 seconds. Or we can choose a weapon specialization. Confident aim, passive effect plus 20% of grazes convert to hits. The fighter intensely focuses his or her training, significantly raising accuracy for a small amount of time. Ooh, the fighter devotes his or her energy defending allies, lowering accuracy but increasing the deflection of nearby allies. It's only got a range of 2 meters, which isn't very good. But it does have a plus 10 deflection. And into the fray. Lunges through the battle, pulling an enemy into immediate... Ooh, hello. Has a 5-meter range. Does crushing damage. Yeah, actually that sounds really interesting. Great fun.
Hey,
For your new fighter ability. And it's another encounter power as
On
well.
your word.
Kana, you have a lot of lore. Let's give you some more athletics actually, so you're not so fatigued. And we can give you a new phrase. One dozen stood against the power of the saint. Decreases the duration of defense against frightened and terrified. Allies leave a hazardous trail of frost whenever they move, hobbling and causing freeze damage to enemies. Decreases reload time and increases the speed of all ranged attacks. And the Fox of the Farmer did run and leap. Reduces accuracy of disengagement attacks for enemies in an area of effect. This one sounds good actually. Reload speed. Dull the edge, blunt the point sounds really good as well. Reduces slashing and piercing damage. We'll go with this one now.
what?
Durance, your time has come. You need more mechanics. And that's about it actually. You've learned some new abilities, Circular Protection, Despondent Blows. Ooh, that could be good, an area effect blow. Restore Moderate Endurance, a Warding Seal. And Watchful Presence. Blesses allies with the aid of a sympathetic soul, releasing a healing effect when their endurance is low. Alof. Give you a little bit more athletics and a little bit more survival. And you can choose 2 level 3 spells. You have a good list of them. Spews forth a noxious cloud of rancid foulness that sickens anyone caught inside, also doing a small amount of corrosive damage. Summons 3 missiles that pierce through the target and leap to 2 additional targets each. That might be worthwhile. Creates a ball of energy in a caster's hand that can be thrown at an enemy, causing burn, freeze, corrode and shock damage to anyone caught in the area of effect. Blights are continually replenished until the spell ends. That might be really good, actually. Yeah, we'll go with those 2.
Hi?
You can cast 2 level 3 spells. And last but not least, Sagani. You need a little bit of athletics. There you go. And we can choose 1 ranger ability. Swift aim. The ranger gets into a speedy and fluid offensive rhythm, reducing accuracy but increasing rate of fire and reload time. And these are like abilities to give to your companion. Plus 15 defense against AoE attacks. Plus 10 accuracy when attacking the same target. And arrow sense. Stalk. Oh, well, what about this one? Vicious aim. By lowering attack and reload rate, the ranger is able to take more careful aim, giving them increased accuracy and damage. We'll go with Stalker's Link. Plus 10 accuracy when attacking the same target. There we go. We're going to rush now to Bright Hollow so we can rest up. And as I said, now that we're all level 5, I think we'll go back up to Raedric's Hold. Now that we've got the dungeons built here, it'll be interesting to see how often they can actually be used. You can still hear the whispers in here as well. What was that about? The whispers are gone. I wonder if that means something to do with the stronghold, because we've only heard it since we've come here, or if it's something to do with being a watcher. I'm not 100% sure. See, I think we'll end this video here as soon as we get out of Bright Hollow. Let's look at our map. I think we'll be heading back up to Raedric's Hold and concluding that side quest, or at least attempting to. It was a hard fight. I may try to cheat it again by standing in his bedroom and waiting for, trying to draw them to me, and just fighting them in a confined space, and then they have less chance to do anything to me. But we'll see how it goes. We might try it for real at first and see how we get on. And if not, then we'll try and jinx the system. So, this has been AnthWolf, and I hope you've all enjoyed, and I hope you all take care. And I'll see you for more Pillars of Eternity in the next video. I'll see you all then. Bye bye now.